Hi, I'm Sunny Harris, mathematician, trader, programmer, and the author of 8 books, including the brand new Definitive Guide to TradeStation's Easy Language and OOEL Programming with my friend Samuel K. Tennis. I have been a professional trader for 43 years, mostly trading the E-mini, and before it was the E-mini, the S&P. And let's see, I trade on a 5-minute chart on the E-mini, and I trade on daily charts with equities. So I have a large holding of equities that I don't go short equities, I go long and then get out when I get a sell signal on my Sunny Bands indicator. I'm a mentor, tutor, and consultant. I'm an easy language programmer for hire. And I do a Sunny Side of the Street newsletter every Sunday night, have a live trading room every morning, and a free podcast. And I love to teach people how to trade. So we're going to look at some stocks here. Let's see if I can figure out where the chat is. Okay. And now if you want to tell me a symbol, I'm ready. We'll start with gold. That's the one that's up here right now. I'm going to spread this out just a little. We can see where this is not an all-time new high, but we're certainly in high territory. 23, I think, was the high, 23 something, and we're at 2198 looks like. So I am a holder of gold, and I think it's going definitely to 23,000. I don't know if we're going to come down here. We're likely to hit my DMA, which is the gold and purple line in the center of these bands. So this gold and purple tells me if the slope is up, I can see that. If the slope is up and gold is on top, it's likely to go up. So I do think we're looking for 23,000 at least on this. NKE, we've got one. We've had, oh, well, we're just going down, down, down on that. One of the things I do is I draw several of these indicators, but the horizontal line trend lines are the same, are what I call attractors. And I mean by that, the price is attracted to this level. So I think we're going down to just under 90 on Nike. Let's see if here's another attractor right here. Thank you. We've got one right through here. Let's see, we've got price hits it, price hits it, price hits it. Coming back up on the other side, it hits it again several times. So when it does come back up, we're probably looking for it to go into this territory, but I do think it's going to go down to 90 first. Anything else? Professor. Okay, so then let's look at Nike. I mean, NVIDIA. I got a big holding in this one and I'm real happy with. So let's spread this out so we can see a little more what's happening right at the moment. And this is a Sunny Band setup. We've got one red candle under the top Sunny Band. If you want to know anything about Sunny Bands, come to my website, which is moneymentor.com. I've got all kinds of reference material. I've got a little 5-page presentation on how Sunny Bands work. I've got an indicator manual that'll tell you everything about how they work. And basically, we're looking at the purple and gold lines going up. As long as that's going up, then we are still going up. But now, you see these words, purple on top? Purple on top tells me that this DMA line has switched. Gold is no longer on top, but is now turning down. So this is a very bearish signal. So I don't mind if NVIDIA goes down a little bit. It needs to have the pause that refreshes and drop to the DMA. PFE. Pfizer is going sharply sideways. We don't have any information at all until price goes, let's see, it has closed up above the DMA with purple on top. And it's flat because slope down here has yellow on it, showing me that purple's on top and flat. And these bars are getting shorter and shorter on the histogram, which is this thing I'm pointing at. And with those getting shorter, chances are it's going to go up. And usually when it goes up, it'll go up to the upper outer band, this one, which is at 28.22. So I'm looking for price to move up a little bit on Pfizer. CEG. What is that one? Constellation something. And it's definitely going up nicely. Takes a pause and comes back to the DMA. Bounces off of it again, which is very strong. And now we have one candle that's red above the sunny bands coming down into it. That's the setup. And if the next candle's red going down, then that's a short signal. But the caveat is with gold on top, which it is here, we're probably only coming to the DMA at 174.40 and then going back up again. That's the chances. Phenom. I don't know any of these stocks. Up, up, up. Then we come back down to the flat DMA. We go below it this time, which is scary. And we come back up to the DMA and we're long from this point as it closed over the DMA. And now on this one too, we've got a setup. So we've got one candle that's inside the bands, and now we're waiting for the second one. And again, it's likely only to go to the DMA at 36.66. So I think this is going to drop down to 36.66 and then continue on up into the 40 range. Okay, let's have some more symbols. Let's look at the overall market while you're deciding. So this is the Dow setup signal, and we're going to go down to the 21 moving average, which happens to be right at the DMA itself. So we're looking for a break to 38.936 at the DMA, and then I think we're moving on up. Let's look at the ES, which is what I trade. We've got the sell setup and the signal. So we're looking for the Dow for the E-mini here to drop to the gold on top DMA at 51.97. That'll be scary if it drops to 51.97 because it'll be under the 5,200. I call these things natural numbers when they're round numbers like that, 5,200, 5,100, 5,000. All those things to me are natural numbers. And I find that the market goes to those numbers over and over and over again. You got any more symbols for me? You want me to tell stories? M. I don't know what that one is either. Something medicine. Mend or mind medicine. Mind medicine. All right, so this thing's just been staying on top of the gold, on top of the gold, all the way along here, and it's still on top of the gold. With gold on top, if it does move down further, it's only going to 8.66, and then it'll bounce on up again. So I think this thing's going on up to 14. This looks very strong in through here. It's far away from the DMA. It's still climbing. Slope is, what is slope? It was positive. Now it's turned down negative. It's between the 5 and -5. So this isn't really a place to do anything but just be observant and wait and see where it goes next. Oh, NQ, you betcha. This one has a little rounding going on here in the top. So this topping action is questionable because it's slowing down like this. So again, everything's kind of positive. We've got a lot of gold on top lines. Here we have the setup and the trigger. So that's a short down to the DMA at 18,142. Yeah, you bet. So I think we've got a little drop coming down into this area. We've got red lines on the histogram saying to beware that it could be turning and going down. If these things get shorter, if these little red lines get shorter and shorter, then they will pass over and the DMA will turn purple. And then we have a lot more down movement on our side, in our future. Okay. What else do I like to watch? I do like to watch Tesla. And I don't have any Tesla at the moment because I'm waiting for it to turn. This little red bar, that's kind of weird because it came up to the DMA with purple on top, which says we're looking for shorts. And yet it went up above it on a wick, came back down, and it's still under the DMA. So I love to trade Tesla. I don't love to invest in Tesla yet, but I do love to trade it. So the play on Tesla was set up, signal, down, 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 down until we got over the DMA right here. And that was the end of that short. So that was a really nice short going down to there. Then this would signal along. It plays along the DMA and goes up to the inner band and red. And then this is the bar that we would go short on as it passes through the DMA. I like for people to call me. If you have any questions, you want to know what my analysis is on something or uh, how you can get sunny bands, that would make me happy. So here's my number. Just give me a call. Not during the presentation, please, but afterwards, you can give me a call. I love to talk to people. I love to talk to new traders and traders who are working at it but not yet rich. I like to help people succeed. That's my favorite thing. Do we have any more symbols or did everybody go to dinner? We still have any attendees? I show you what I pulled off on the NVIDIA last week. No, it was a couple weeks ago. Right down here when it started to go down and it dropped to the lower outer band is where I bought into NVIDIA this time. So I loaded up on it and it's done quite well. This was the point that everybody else was selling because it was down 35 points and everybody's like, oh my gosh, NVIDIA's overdone. It's going to drop, drop, drop. And it didn't. So I'm real happy with that one. CBX. Ah, this CBX is, I don't know, it's not CBS. Oh, it's Chevron. Yeah, let's squeeze this up a little bit and look at a more long-term view of this. All right, so the overhead is up here at 171. Let's do a little something with this. Let's put some Fibonacci lines on this one from here down to here. So the next line above is at 160. So we've got it at the 50% level, we've got 160 supporting this. And at the 38, we've got 153. With sabers rattling in the Middle East and Ukraine, it seems to me that the price of gas and therefore the price of this stock should go up. Now, I don't usually analyze fundamentals. I'm very technical, but that's kind of a technical thing. Cycles and cycles with respect to events are definitely technical. So I think this one's going to go up to 160. CLSK. Oh, look at that. That's going to go on up. Pull this down a little bit. And wow, we're moving into the 30 range. What is this one? Clean spark. Yeah, that one's got a ways to go on up. I think it's probably going to do a little gap on this as soon as it passes through here decisively. This yellow dot is put on here. It shows me all the ideal turns. And you see it does a really good job of calling all the trades. Now, this indicator is only calculated after the fact, so you can't trade with it, but I do all my research with it. So when I'm looking for something to trade, I look for the maximum number of points that I can get from yellow dot to yellow dot. If if the stock doesn't lend itself to trading, it'll just be short little moves like this. And that's how I calculate how much I could have made. I always look at my hourly wage. Am I making more trading than I could make working at McDonald's? I had a client, I had a client tell me the other day that he wanted to go live with his trading because he's only lost $900 now. Well, minus $900 is not a wonderful hourly wage. So I don't recommend live trading with real money until you're getting really good at it. SPX. SPX. That does not. Let's try SPY. So this is the SPY, which is the same thing. And looks to me like that's going on up too, doesn't it? It's got a setup and a trigger. So it could be going down to the DMA, but that's about as far as I think it's going to go. It'll do a little retracing. You notice along here that goes up and then down, up and then down, up and then down. It's got these cycles going on, and this cycle needs to be fulfilled down to the DMA still. It's not going to scare me a bit, though. I love it. Short's more fun than long. WOLF. Looks like it's trying to recover. It's gone down to this level 3 times, bounced on it, and now it's on the purple DMA. You see purple's on top. So that tells me that it has further down to go. It'll probably go from this down to the lower outer band. And that's because it's tried 1, 2, 3 times and not made it through the DMA. So I think this one has a little further down to go. Oh, I like ON too. I have some of that. All right. Sideways, sideways, sideways. So now this one has a little further down to go. It can go down to this level, 68, 68.78. That's it. So I think we're going to go down very close to that level and then come back up again. Again, purple's on top. We have to be wary of purple on top. That means we're looking for shorts. So this has a little room more on the downside, and then let's see, we've got cycle, cycle. It's likely to go back up again. But first we have to fulfill this second red. No, we have to have 2 green bars in order to go long here. And then we only go to the DMA until we see what's going to happen there and whether it's actually going to push through. GFS. And this one, we're going to put a little attractor down here at this level. And again, we're going to put another attractor at this level. So now we've got several things that hit. It hits here, it hits here, it hits here, and here again, and hits where it is right now. Purple's on top, the DMA is sloping downward. The histogram sloping downward below the 0 line with purple showing. So chances are we're going down to this other attractor at 48.47. ARM. We had a question. Are my sunny bands configurable or permanently set? What's the standard deviations? Can some of the lines be removed to make it simpler or not? Yes. Yes, you can configure them. There's inputs through it for all kinds of little things. It's not standard deviation. That's Bollinger Bands. I use average true range, and the outer bands are at 2.0 average true ranges from the dynamic moving average, and the inner bands are 1.2 average true ranges away from the dynamic moving average. So now we know that the dynamic moving average is dynamic. And by that, I mean it calculates its own lengths with every tick of the market. The math inside of the programming there is kind of extensive calculations, but it ends up calculating the lengths of its. Most moving averages, they start out at 9 and 18 for the two lengths. Doesn't matter what you start this one out at, it always comes out to the end the same because it's calculating with every tick of the market. So it's not standard deviation. Can some of the lines be removed to make it simpler? Not absolutely. You can turn these to 0 and they'll go away and all you have is the DMA, or you can turn the inner bands on or off and the outer bands on or off. You can also set alerts on it so that if you want it to tell you when it's going below or above these bands, it can do that as well. And I have something else called a analysis commentary. Let's see if I can get it to, that's not working. Let's see. So if I click on analysis commentary on a particular bar, it brings up all the values that are inside of the code. So I've got this analysis commentary window, so I can read everything, and it's color coded as well. You can see the teal bands are teal and the outer bands are green, just like on the chart. All right, so then if we click on the analysis commentary button back out here again, it brings it back out to the edge. Kind of cool. Oh, I like this one too, INTC. And here's the attractor right down here. We're going to go down to that level. Let's draw it in. And that's at the 200 moving average. That will be interesting because if the 200 holds, we're going back up. If the 200 doesn't hold, then we're coming down into this level right here, 33.74. We've got a ways to go. That line, so 200 and the horizontal line that I drew, which I call an attractor, are right there together. So INTC has a little more struggling to do. We've got MU, which is just going up very nicely on the gap a few days ago. Gaps will be filled is the word on the street, but sometimes they're not. If it's a really hot stock like this one, Micron, chances are it's going up more. Let's look at this longer term and see. I do this in my Sunny Side of the Street newsletter. I uh, analyze 15 different symbols every Sunday night, and you'll see that I do all this same stuff on them. So I'm looking back here to see if there's anything higher or if that's an all-time high, and which looks like it is. Oops, cancel. So chances are on all-time highs that there'll be profit taking back to this level right here, which is at where the yellow dots are. 96.58 is what I have. It's currently at 118 something. So it's possible that we can correct back to that level in profit taking, and then I think we're going on up again. Point. Oops, spell it right. Now let's spread this back out. Oh, stop it. Time frame daily. There we go. Same idea. We've got up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And it came down right to the DMA on two candles there. Let's get that spread out a little more. Yeah, so it came down, hit the DMA, and it's going back up. And now we've got another red candle. So, and it's above the prior all-time high. So it's going to take a little more profit and then go screaming back up out of there. What is this one? Coinbase? Yeah. SOX. The nice SOX or SD, it's SOX. And I don't show that symbol. SOX. Oh, well, there we go. We have it after all. So we've done the up and down, up and down, up and down, and we're on top of the DMA with gold on top. You see, it says that. We are still less than the 21 moving average, but greater than the 55. And I use those numbers because they are Fibonacci numbers. The sunny bands are squeezing in. See how they're getting closer together here, narrowing? That usually means a impending large move. And I'm going to guess this large move will be SOXL. That's not the same one. I'm guessing this move will come out above those outer bands as they squeeze in like this. It looks like a move up. MARA. And I don't think that was the right stock, but SOX wouldn't come up. All right, this one, Sunny Bands. Here's the attractor at this level. This one's challenging. I think we're going to come back up to the upper outer band, 27, 26, it looks like. We've got a sloping line there that's encouraging. So we've got from here to here, we've got a trend line. And we'll do it again from here to here. So we have a wedge. So it'll likely bounce off at the bottom of this wedge and go right back up to the top of it. ECOR. Somebody keep track of these things and write me back in a couple of weeks and let me know how these worked out. Sunny at moneymentor.com. And my phone number is 760-908-3070 if you want to give me a call. All right. This one's another one that's just, I mean, we're just looking at stock after stock that keeps going up. So that tells me something about the whole market overall. What does it tell you? On the slope, look at the slope indicator, up and down, all along the zero line. So it's going up, but it's going up in fits and spurts. Did I get them all? MU, did I do that? MU, I think I did. Yes, micron, we did that. Mu. All right. So the Sunday bands also work on any market, any symbol, in any time frame. So here's MU. We want to see that. If we type 15 space MIN, TradeStation will bring up the 15-minute chart. And you see there's Sunday bands on the 15. Now I have an indicator. It's like Elizabeth Warren. I have an indicator for that. So the blue and magenta bars, those candles right through there, are all in the night session. And the green and the red are in the day session. And I like to have that so that I don't get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to look at my charts and see, oh, I think I'll trade in there, because I do not like to trade in the night session. So that's how that one looks. Did not do AMD yet. Thank you. Now let's take this back to a daily chart, because that's what I like to look at these things on. So it looks like we've got a little break coming here. We've got a line right there in the sand for preponderance of price hitting this level. So we're going to come down back to this, which is at 162.84, and then bounce right on out of there. Yeah, and this congestion all through here is likely to lead congestion all through the other side of this. So it'll be reflected back on this side, and we'll get congestion and scare people out. SOUN. Soundhound. AI. So we got some news on this apparently, and it went skyrocketing up, back to the DMA, back to the outer band, and back to the DMA again, and then fell below it. So that's below the 21. It's below the flat DMA. It's going to at least come down to the inner band, which is right here at 5.26. And that's where I would start to pick up some shares of that again. Anything else that I do, MARA? I think I did. Marathon Digital. Yeah, we did that. Anything else? Do you have any just general questions? CVNA. We've got a horizontal line over here. It hits here and here and here and here again. And this one looks like it's going to go on up. You see the sunny bands themselves are sloping up. The DMA is gold on top and sloping up. We've got on the histogram, we have gold bars that are coming up and slopes going up. So this speaks for upward movement. WFC. Well, that's very nice, Mr. Downey or Miss Downey. There are lots of videos you can watch on YouTube with my stuff in it. And I also do a podcast. It's on Spotify called The Sunny Harris Show. And I've been interviewing famous traders from years gone by, not the guys who are the brand new everywhere guys, but the guys who brought us here with their books and their strategies and their lectures. And we've interviewed Larry Williams and Jake Bernstein and oh gosh, everybody. We've got 43 podcasts on now, which is when I first started doing it, we had 8 viewers. I was all excited. Okay, let's see. WFC, Wells Fargo. Well, there's the problem with these banks these days. We're going to have, after all the vacancies we've got in office supply out there on the books, uh, there's other banks that are struggling. I worry about the bank stocks. Um, this one looks like it's going on up, but it could just as easily come down to this lower outer band at 54.90. So 55 is one of those natural numbers. So I think we're going to come down to that level and then go back up again. I think this is probably a good idea. But be real fast on your feet on this one. Oh, that's very nice. Awesome resource, your website. Thanks so much. All right, what else we have? Bitcoin. This is fun. So we got up to 70,000 and some, 75 something. And everybody got scared and it came back out to profit taking. And now we're going to go back up to the upper outer band. These bands are starting to squeeze a little bit. So that tells me we're going to look for a surprise. And the surprise in my book's likely to be to the upside. Yeah, ARKK. I've held this on and off, and it's just never really panned out for me very well. I do think that Kathy Wood overtrades. I do wish that she would have sunny bands and do better. I've offered it to her for free several times, but I don't have any takers yet. So I'm afraid to tell you I don't have any faith in ARKK. And it's flat, 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 flat all along here on the slope indicator. And of course, it's reflected in the price. It looks exactly the same. And yet the histogram is about to go over the zero line. It's turned green. It's about to go over the zero line. If she gets up to her high back here in December, I'm going to take my shares off the table because She has a hard time making money with this fund. KWEB. I don't know what this one is, but it's very thinly traded. Look at the spaces between the bars. That's what's the price? 27. We've got a flat DMA with gold on top right here. We've got lines above the zero line on the histogram. The who's on top indicator shows me definitely that's been gold for some time here. And slope, nevertheless, is flat. So DMA is flat right there. And let's see what it's probably going to touch a little bit further, touch this DMA, and then go up to, I'm thinking 28. Roku. Well, that couldn't be much more sideways, could it? Kathy Wood's been buying a lot of Roku. And the DMA histogram has green bars coming closer and closer to the zero line. This looks like it could move up um, to the upper outer band at 70 and a quarter. But it has to go above the purple DMA first. When it gets up to there, then it's going to pop, I think, up to this level. KWEB. Oh, that's the one we just looked at. This so thinly sliced. RYCEY. Ricey? Rolls Royce. Well, I should know that. This is just a steady climb. Come on. Let's look at a longer term chart of this one. That's, talk about a steady climb. That thing's going further up. In fact, let's put a horizontal line on this one right here. And where's the other one? Let's see. Here's horizontal right here, which is where we are. So we have to, and I drew that because of these two prices right here, not because I was looking to the right. So these are the two lines in the sand that we have to worry about. When we get over this one, we're going to the next one. So the first one is at 539.49, and the next one's up at 9. Okay. PDSB. And that's, oh, we're not on the daily chart. Let's get back to that. Another one with lots of jerky movement to it. So up, down, up, down. I can't say that this one's going up or down. Here's the tractor. Chances are it's coming down to this level, and then it'll do this kind of a movement again up above it. It's a little risky to take a long position in this one just yet. WTI. My little dog, I have a 2.5 pound registered Yorkie, and she has little bitty t-shirts. One of her t-shirts says, WTF, where's the food? And this is just going down. So let's see, time frame weekly. We'll draw some horizontal lines in here. We've got one right here, goes across there, and that's about where we are. So since it's below this now, it makes me think we could go farther down. Probably to this level at 216. We're at 250 right now, 248. So 216 is, will hopefully hold it, but I don't know for sure. Let's put that line there. So if you want to see it on the video later. right through there. Okay, not that one. WTI oil. I'd have to have a symbol for it. This is WTI, but if I put the word oil in there, it won't work. Do you have a symbol for it? WTI oil. This is W&T Offshore Inc. It sounds like oil, but if you can give me the symbol, I'll be happy to look it up. I do this one, ETHUSD instead of Bitcoin. And that one's hitting up against the flat DMA. 1, 2, it could easily come on down. But I think this is going to go on up. Now that we have 11 ETFs that buy and sell Bitcoin and ETH and all the other coins, I think these are things that are going to go on up because they're being more and more traded, especially with the new ETFs. They cost $50 to buy Bitcoin, not 50,000. Crude. This is kind of an arc of a move up instead of just a straight line. It's a circle, and that could go up into the 88 range. Yep, we're looking at 85 to 88 here. Got it here. Here. It could come down to that. And we'll draw one more right here at this flat level. So I do, yeah, it's got more reason to go up than reason to go down at this point. Anything else? Well, while we're waiting, let me bring up this screen. I'll just show you my orders before the end of the talk. Any of my mentoring and indicators, if you'd like Sunny Bands or the histogram or any of these things before the end of this week, today's Tuesday, everything is 20% off for attending this talk. If you order before the 31st, then it's only 10% off. So it includes everything. If you want a free 7-day trial of my indicators, just email me at sunny@moneymentor.com or text me the word trial to my cell phone, 760-908-3070. And here's how you get a hold of me. I'll leave that up for just a minute. I do a live trading room every morning by subscription, where I spend an hour trading for real. And you can watch how I do it. We talk, we visit for an hour, we share trading ideas. I share where I think the Sunny Bands are going. And oh, there's another horizontal line there. Look at that. That's right where we are. So we're going to drop down to the DMA on this one. That's crude. So anyway, I do a live trading room every day, subscription. You just go to moneymentor.com and pull down the live trading room. The main things I trade are the E-mini. So let's look at this for a second. I trade the E-mini, and I trade it on 5-minute charts. And then I trade stocks, and they're on daily charts, just like these. And I have a large portfolio full of all kinds of things. But the things that I'm holding I analyze in my sunny side of the street every Sunday night. So you not only know what I'm holding, you know what I think is going to happen to it next. And if you want a free sunny side of the, I mean, a free, oh yeah, well, free sunny side of the street, that's my newsletter. Just send me an email or a text to my cell phone with SSS on it, and I'll know you want sunny side of the street. I will need your email address because I can't send it to your phone. So give me your email address and SSS if you want the sunny side of the street weekly. And if you want to come to one free live trading room, they're available on Wednesdays. So just text me LTR, live trading room. Contact slide again, you betcha. There we go. That good enough? Thank you very much. So if you want the analysis on a weekly basis, sunny side of the street, if you want to hear me go through it on real live trading Wednesday mornings, just text me something. I'll set you up with it. Anything else? MRVL, what is that? Marvel? We've got horizontal lines here. So from here to here to here comes across, and we've got it more over here. All kinds of congestion around this line. And now we're under it. So in order to get back up, we've got to get over this line and then come up and get over the purple DMA. So there's a pretty good resistance right in through there. Um, I think it's going on up, but it has to get through these lines first. It might get through them on a snap. It might just go straight up to the DMA. But I think, well, the histogram, you see here, it's got purple. So we know purple's on top. That's negative. And we've got one green bar that tells me it's made a little headway. But basically, this is still negative. SMCI. A little head and shoulders forming up here, which says we've got a little bit further down to go, maybe down to the lower inner band before resuming the upside activity. CPRX, pharmaceutical or something like that. Pharma. Big pharma. Okay, we've got sunny bands flat on the DMA. They're starting to squeeze just a little bit. And there's a trend line that's right from here to here that's kind of down. That's putting pressure on it. And the trend line going up is from there to there. So it broke that, and it's at the DMA. DMA is flat. The histogram is showing bars trying to get below the zero line. They're getting shorter and shorter. So I think this thing's going to turn purple, and we're going to go down to the lower inner band, which is right at this level. It is less than the 21 moving average. You see, I have tailored my moving averages a little bit, so it tells me greater than 200, greater than 55, and less than 21. So it labels them each. Of course, those are input values. It labels them and tells me if it's greater than or less than. NEM. Nematodes? Oh, Newmont Mining. Sideways, sideways, sideways. That's all it's been doing for the last 2 weeks here. And it's gold on top on the DMA, but it's flat. And this is just congestion. I can't tell which way it's going to come out of the congestion, but I think the way is up. Let's draw a couple little. Where did I just see that? Oh, right here. So that's where we are. So it's got to get It really should probably get out above the upper outer band, and then it'll take off to the 200. So we're looking at this point for it to break the upper outer band level, which is at 35.41. So when we break that out, then we're going to the 200 at 38.30. So if we get this breakout, then that's where we're going next. COPP. I used to work with a guy named COP, Cott, last name. So this is apparently an IPO because I don't have any backwards data in it there. And it's not enough data to even plot sunny bands on it. But right here's the attractor. So we could go down to that, what is that, 2220 at that level. And I don't know enough about the company to tell you anything about what I think about it. But just from the configuration of these three bars, it looks like it's going to come down to there and probably go up again. But I really can't read this one. Anything else? PFE. Just keep me busy here. Pfizer, we already did that one. So the overall trend on this is down because we've got a trend line that goes like that. And from here to here is where I drew that. And look at this. It's just getting shorter and shorter and shorter as it tries to stay under that trend line. I think we're going to drop. I think I think that it will drop below this and not be able to get through that trend line. If it does get through the trend line, then we're going back up to this other attractor right here at, that looks like 31 or something, like 31 or 32. So if we get above this trend line, then we've got to rise to that level. If we don't, it's going down to this level down here. So keep a watch on it and let me know. SMC, CPRX. And we already did that one because I've got these lines drawn in it. So I know that that's already been analyzed. And the break right here is for the next candle to go down. See these two trend lines meet across here at the top. So that's a conjunction that's usually very strong. So it could either go straight up to that crossing or it could go on down, and I'm guessing it will go down. CPRX, NEM, we did those. CFE and CLF. Didn't we do CLF too? Oops, sorry. CLF, wrong keyboard. Okay. Oh, that's SLF. CLF. And there we go. This one looks like it's got some more momentum to the upside. We've got horizontal line. It starts back here, gets over there. It's support now. So we should have at least a little bit more motion up to the upside, is my guess. We're, see here, it says above 20, and these are in the same color that the line moving average is drawn as well. So it's greater than 200, it's greater than 55, it's greater than 21, so it's up in here. So we've got some more upside to go on CLI. Now, this is going sideways. I don't have anything to add to that until the DMA takes a direction. So it looks like it's turning down just slightly. But the last three bars, it's moving up. So this just measures 3 bars, the slope of 3 bars. And so that's moving up, but purple's on top, and the histogram has lines underneath the 0 line. So this is a real iffy one. It could go both directions just as easily. good candidate for an iron condor. You need to talk to the option professor about that one. I'm illiterate when it comes to options. Let's see, PM. This one's going down. Yeah, looks like it's going to go down to, let's draw another attractor down here. That's one possibility. And then the flat DMA is the other. That's going to keep it down. So I would be looking for this one to go down to this lower attractor, or at least to the lower outer band, which is at 89.31. Let's do one more. BTI. And this is the same as that one we just talked about because it's under the attractors. So we've got a horizontal DMA all across there, and it's under that. And see how it has come down to the lower outer band over this one. It didn't. It came down to the lower inner band and then shot up, but then it's back down again. And I think we're going to come down to the lower inner band now at this 20, what is this? 29.50, I think. All right. You've worn me out. Analyzing stock after stock. Anybody see UPS today? Down 12.31. Those are the dramatic things that are always fun. Thank you for having me here. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So we've analyzed a whole bunch of symbols. We've looked at sunny bands. We've got my information. Are there any residual questions? You got me for free here. All right. Thank you all so much.